Tomorrow is 4 years since Erin went to heaven, and I was thinking about the last couple of days, just so many different memories of her, and I thought maybe it would be good to share. So I'm reading out of my Stop Winging It book on page 86. It says, let's be honest with ourselves. While productivity is important, it's just one part of the equation. Finding moments to simply enjoy, and to recharge is just as essential as working. It's not about neglecting responsibilities, but creating space for joy, for connection, and for self care. We must balance our doing with more being. It was overwhelming. I'll admit, I even had to time block just to go to the bathroom. Seriously, I set aside specific blocks to drink water too. It's totally embarrassing to admit. Reflecting on it now, I realize how out of alignment I was at that moment. I needed to seek forgiveness for that, and I'm sure that some of you might be able to relate. Being caught up in a cycle of constant doing. Sometimes it's important to shift our focus and embrace being instead of always doing. It's about being in a space where you don't have to prove anything, you don't need to sell anything, or constantly be on. I've come to understand the value of simply being in a room where no one needs anything from you. It's something I've grown more aware of, though I still have room for improvement. Many of you are familiar with my story. At one point, I had a full time executive assistant and friend, my trusted partner, Erin. Unfortunately, she passed away suddenly at 41 years old, which led me to swing in the complete opposite extreme. I was once so structured that I meticulously time blocked every aspect of my life. I became almost frustrated when people requested my time as if my calendar dictated every single move. I was incredibly rigid in how I managed my schedule. But life has a way of throwing us unexpected curveballs, doesn't it? Suddenly, it felt as though the pendulum had swung completely in the opposite direction. Everything felt meaningless. I no longer cared about my calendar or my commitments that I had once prioritized, and I didn't want anyone to hold me accountable, and I questioned why I was even doing any of it in the first place. I didn't want to be anywhere, interact with anyone, or even bother taking care of myself. Over the last few years, I've learned a lot about myself. I have found a way to return to a healthier sense of harmony, not balanced because nothing is ever perfectly balanced. Life is always shifting, and I've come to accept that adaptability and grace are more about or more important. I have come to accept that adaptability and grace are more important than rigid structures. There were a lot of different aspects of my personal life, my business life that were impacted by losing such a sweet friend and business partner in Erin. And what's crazy is there are still folders and files that I have put away for my next assistant to work on. Tomorrow's going to be 4 years, and there are still times that I receive notifications or reminders on my calendar that I know she created for me because and that was such a gift. It was that she knew the way I thought about things, and then she created systems and tools and reminders to help me stay on track. So, 4 years without her is crazy, and grief has such a strange way of creeping up. It's almost like you can feel it or sense it coming. And I was driving down the road the other day, and it was literally like just these flood of memories and everything. And so um I honor her, and I think about her constantly, and I have so many memories, and I'm so grateful that we took the time to make those memories. It's not so much about being a human doing, it's being a human being. and learning just to be. That's a section that I teach out of Quantum Leap for adults, and I'm excited that I'm going to get to travel in the next few months to teach it again. And so, if you need encouragement, if you need a friend or a cheerleader, just reach out to me. Hope you have a good day.